Good morning, and we're leaving for a few days at Monarch Ski Area today, and it's March 3rd. Temperature is 53, which is about 15 degrees above average for this time of day. Right now, I'm leaving with 100% battery with a range of 229, which is about average for a warm day. And of course, this morning I'll be going over Kenosha Pass and thankfully dealing with it should be a clear sailing all the way to Salida, where I'll charge up before I go up the pass. And the ski area is only about 20 minutes up the pass, up Monarch Pass from Salida, but I would rather have more than I want rather than less than I need. So I'll charge in Salida. I may end up charging in Fairplay just so I don't have to go all the way into Salida. We'll see how it goes. We anticipate good weather all the way over, above average temps, so that should mean above average or certainly targeted range, having done this trip a few times in the summer. Okay, so before I left the house, I did the navigation, and it dropped my potential range from 229, I think it was, to 175. That was to be expected because we're climbing over Kenosha, we're doing lots of little things, and more than likely we would be heading into a headwind coming across South Park through Fairplay. So anyway, but as I'm going along, I was averaging about 1.9 to 2.1 kilowatts per miles per kilowatts, sorry. And so I figured up on the way over that I did have plenty of juice to get me to Salida. However, and even while the navigation didn't particularly agree, the range on the unit on the dash did agree with that. So, but it would be close, and I know that from driving over there in the summer. So what this does, it gives me a chance to get out and stretch the legs, let the dogs out, and then avoid having to take the 5-mile trip into and then back out, a 10-mile round trip into and out of Salida, and allows me just to go straight to Monarch Ski Area. Hi, I'll just finish off the Monarch ski trip with a quick overall view of the costs, the charging, a couple of reviews on charging stations, and some things that I experienced with the truck this time that I hadn't experienced on previous cold weather trips in the mountains. So we did about 529 miles and had a 2.2 mile per kilometer, which is about average. The weather was not really cold. We had a couple of days that were above average and a couple of days that were below average, but overall, it was Colorado in the winter, and the roads were spectacular. Getting in, there was no wind to speak of driving over through South Park, which is almost unbelievable. There was wind coming home, which was nice because then I had a nice tailwind. But anyway, I spent at charging stations, I'm going to look at my notes here. I spent $83.90 on charging at the stations. And then when I got home, I filled back up and spent $4.90 on the truck. It makes a big difference when you're paying 7 cents a kilowatt at home versus anywhere between 40 and 45 cents for fast charging, and even as high as 20 or 25 cents for a slow charge on the road. So anyway, uh, comparing that to trips I've done, and knowing what my Silverado would achieve mileage wise, I would be I would have probably spent $10 or so more if I'd driven the Silverado. Now, the big difference between taking the Pro and the Silverado is that when I get to the ski area, I can redo the timing on the engine, or on the battery, I should say, and allow the truck to run for the full time that I'm skiing, so that anyone who's left to their own devices in the truck is comfortable. They can listen to the radio, they've got the heat on, and I'm not getting comments from other people in the parking lot saying, "Hey, why are you leaving your truck on all day? We don't want to breathe your fumes," and so forth. So that's, to me, is the huge difference, and one of the best reasons for taking the Pro skiing, or taking the Pro anywhere really for that matter, in cold weather. One of the things that I did this time that I typically don't do on mountain trips is I use the cruise control feature almost exclusively, going over and coming back, and then use the finger controls on the steering wheel to decrease the set speed, so that if we were negotiating some tight curves or coming down a long descent, then I wasn't exclusively relying on my sport mode, the regen. That way, I was also using the cruise control, and it was interesting because I was on the way over and on the way back. I was doing about 1.8 miles per kilowatt, and then when I charged at Fairplay, I decided to charge at Fairplay, even though I could have gotten to my destination on 100% battery. But it's just nice to charge at Fairplay because I can get out, and in 15 minutes it gives me enough juice, and it gives me a chance to get out and stretch my legs, and give the pups some water and let them stretch. So anyway, 1.8 miles per kilowatt going to the charge, and then after the charge I was doing 2.8 miles per kilowatt, and that was something that I had not experienced before on the cold weather trips. Now, it may have had something to do this time. I let the truck tell me that, hey, you don't have enough battery. Can we? You're going to have to stop and charge, whatever the navigation system says. And so I let it do an automatic search for the charging station. Now, this is a Pro, and I don't think I have the battery heaters. So, and it, before I got to the charging station, nothing on the on the screens gave me an indication that, hey, you're 15 minutes out from your charge, and we're going to warm up the battery. Nothing like that. And it wasn't really all that cold either. It was, I think, about 35 degrees on one day, and then coming back, it was about 40 or 45. So that was interesting. I'd never noticed that before. That 1 mile per kilometer extra following the charge. The other thing is that when I was fast charging in Salida at 2 different stations, and I'll tell you about my experience with those, it wouldn't charge over 90%. Now, once in a while, I've run into the fast charger shutting down at 80 or 85% automatically, and there was nothing that I could do to convince it to go further, even if I had the time and the willingness to wait, another 15 or 20 minutes for it to slowly charge up to 90 or 95%. But this time there was no. It would tell me on the app that and give me a time frame. You'll be at 100% by 7:28 p.m. and by 7:20 I was at 90% and it shut me off automatically. So if somebody here watching knows that there's something I could do somewhere to get me up to the 100%, like I wanted to do the night before I left, then let me know in the comments below. But I haven't been able to find that on the app. I haven't been able to find that on the screen. So anyway, it's kind of a nuisance. But as far as charging stations go in Salida, I charged at Mojo's, which is in a nouveau chic area of town in the southeast corner of town. There's signs out on Highway 50, big EV signs pointing the direction, which was very nice. So anybody who's not familiar with the area, is coming up for a necessary charge, big signs out there. And I thought that's the first time I've ever seen something like that, signage that good. So kudos to the people who installed that station and working with the highway department. Now that station at Mojo's is also the power is supplied by 39 solar panels mounted on the roof above the chargers. So that's also a nice advantage. It's a charge point station, and so the app, works, no problem for me anyway, getting in and out. Now, over at the Pharisee Boys car dealership, I think they have 3 different dealers: a Chevy, or a GM, a Ford, and a Dodge, I believe. All 3 of the big automakers. They're in one shop. They have a fast charge, and they also have a level 2 charge, which is supposed to do 17 kilowatts per hour. But I couldn't get it to be more than 9, which is still good for a level 2 charger, but 9 kilowatts is about half of what they advertise, at least for the Ford Pro. Now, I made 3 tries to charge on 2 different days to charge at the fast charger, and was able to charge just once. The screen on the charger said I could use the Ford app or Ford Pass. It said I could use ChargePoint. It said I could use EV Connect. And the only way I was able to connect after 4 or 5 tries at one sitting was using the EV Connect app. And even then, it was not charging more than about 90 kilowatts per hour. And I was charging from a balance of about 50 or 55% on the battery. So it should have ramped up. I was expecting something along the lines of 120, which would have been nice. But I've also noted that this same charge system is utilized by a lot of dealerships around in Colorado, and when I've charged out in other locations. And I don't know if it's the dealerships, Chevy specifically. That's where I've charged mostly, at Chevy dealerships. I don't know if it's, this is the contract they have. This is the type of charge station that they put in or require that the dealerships put. I don't know. But I've had several problems trying to charge the Ford. Now, soon after I left, one of the days, and I left a critique or a review of the charging station with, showing my problems. Then somebody in in a BMW came in and got the full, I think, 180 kilowatt as advertised for a short stem, and did not have any problems. And they used the Shell Recharge app. So I don't know if it's the apps that I'm using or the fact that it's a Ford, with this particular charging station. I don't know. I don't have that much experience or know-how. But anyway, I'll sign off for now. And it was a good trip. Love the Ford Pro, and easy to clean up. With my pleather vinyl interior. Just take a nice hot hair dryer or the weed blower that I have, and just blow all the dog hair out of the truck, which, looking around, needs to be done. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.